What is going on, everyone? Today is Sunday and it's freezing out there. 39 degrees. Can you believe that? We're on April 2nd and it's freezing. Should be like in the 50s. But next week, towards the end, should be getting in the 60s, 70s. For like a few days and then it'll go back to 50. It's like a tease of the summer, huh? We're already in spring, and it's cold out here. So, I want to talk about is my website. I have a website called sololuisvlogs.com. And it has, vlog, journal, photo gallery, and the privacy and stuff like that. I had a few links on there. Trying to make a little extra money, you know what I mean? Hard times. Hey, I might be driving a nice truck and living in a trailer, but doesn't mean I'm rich. I think everyone wants to have nice things, I used to have an old pickup truck. I think when I first came to Washington, I'd never even had a new car. I always had an old beat up vehicle. My first brand new car that I ever bought under my name was back in 2013. So that's 10, what is that, 10, 11, 12? Oh no, that's what? Oh no, 10 years ago. And so I was in my 30s, I was in my mid 30s. My first new car under my name. Can you believe that? You look at now, everybody driving these youngsters. Parents probably bought it for them, you know what I mean? They're driving these nice cars, brand new. And I never had a new car before. That was my first one. But they don't make cars, the same anymore. I think they're junk, in my opinion. I think it's a waste of money. If you get an old school classic, it's probably your best bet. Unless you have a lot of money to spend and you can afford the car, But this is gonna be my last truck. I'm not buying another truck, and I'm keeping the trailer in case anything happens. I can travel in the trailer and have my truck. But anyways, yeah, so check out my website because I go off on different stories, subjects. And yeah, so type it in there, Solo Luis Vlogs. So it says 20 miles. I guess school is out. Is that what it is? You gotta be careful too, though, because sometimes it has like a 20 miles, and if you're driving, like 25 miles, they have cameras. They'll take a picture and give you a fine like $400, believe me. But I don't think this is a school zone. I don't see any signs, but I'm just always looking because you never know. Oh yeah, it is. You can see the thing over there. Is this it? Is this a school thing or what? Oh shit. I thought that was a school. Last time I almost did that, and I remember a long time ago. Ooh, it was a long time ago. I was probably like, in my teens, when they had passed that law. Like if you pass a school zone or a bus, when they had the stop sign, when you passed that, it was like $300 and something back then. I think it was $385. Now I'm pretty sure it's like double, but they didn't even have that back then. It's probably been around for about 25 years. But when I was going to school, they didn't even have any of that stuff. I mean, I used to drive in the old school buses. It was like the old square buses. But the buses still look the same to me, Now we are heading home. Home, sweet home. I like going this back way because I got propane in the back, and I'm always a cautious driver. When I was young, in my 20s, I mean, I'm still fairly, I'm not saying I'm an old man, right? I'm still in my 40s, but when I was, what do they call it, a young adult, I guess, I don't know, my 20s, I used to drive hella fast. Never got pulled over. Knock on wood. I didn't even have driver's license back then. And then I used to hang out with my cousin all the time. My cousin was never a good driver. I mean, everyone trusted me to drive. I remember one time I was driving. We were driving in his mom's car, and it was late. We were out looking for girls back then. I was probably I think I was like 16 years old. We took my cousin's mom's car and went downtown San Jose, California. And they had this what do they call it, DUI checkpoint? And I should have turned around, but I ended up going straight. And the cop, there was a driver in front of me, and he roll down your window, make sure, you're not doing anything crazy or anything, or drunk or anything, been drinking. And then I come next, and then the officer tells me to roll down the window. I roll down the window, and he goes, where you guys headed, and all this, and he asked me if I had license, and I said, I don't even remember what I said. I think I said no. I must have said no, because they had told me to pull over to the side. Or maybe I told him, what did I tell him? Yeah, I think I did tell him no. And then he told me to pull to the side. And got us out and wrote a ticket. Then my mom had to come pick me up. They told my aunt's car, and so this was back in the day, folks. But back then it was, you didn't go like to juvenile court or anything like that. You would just pay a fine. I don't even remember what the fine was. And then that's it. It wouldn't go on your record or nothing like that. Now it's totally different. I mean, they pull you over, you don't have no driver's license. But back then, the laws were a little bit lenient. They're not as strict. Now they got so many laws, you can't pretty much do anything. But I'm just saying, I remember that growing up. This is supposed to be about the school bus, right? I got off a little subject, but I remember that day. And sometimes you remember these days like if it was yesterday, you know? Isn't that funny? Like I can remember when I was a kid, I can remember jumping on the counter, getting into the sugar bowl, spilling it everywhere. And I remember that, and I was probably like, you know, young. I was probably like 5 or 6 years old. Isn't that funny how the brain works? So, just thought I want to share that with you, huh? Anyways, I'm gonna enjoy the day, and if I find anything to do, I'll take a video of it. But where I live in Washington, I mean, if it rains, what can you do, you know? What are you gonna do, go fishing or something when it rains? But I still do something, but I just don't do, like, you know, when it's nice and warm, you know, go out exploring. Maybe if I had a lot of money or something, I wouldn't mind. But